What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mr. Graven. Alright, so I just got back on. I've had a kind of a busy day, to be honest with you. Just real life, a lot of real life. I mean, that's normal, right? For all of us, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I'm really looking forward to I'm anticipating the next week or two for a lot of these certain content creators to start coming out with their new configurations. And like I said, I'm saying it, I'm calling it 6-1 configs. And when they do, I'm going to call their asses out. Each one of them. They know who they are. They know who they are. I know when they stop in. I know that they hate my guts. And I'm going to call them out as soon as they post it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be excellent. Because they're not going to pay me credit. And when they don't pay me credit, I'm going to flag their asses for it. And I'm going to call them dipshits. 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 More dipshits. And dipshits. And more dipshits. The funny thing is, like, they should have known in PTS. They should have already had it in advance. If they were so fucking good. They should have known the configuration ahead of time. I saw it, and I was like, this configuration is changing. Just based on this alone.
Someone, we need help.
Right? Because you're taking the values out. And, you know, now it's per piece. That alone changes up the math and the diminishing value. Right? And, of course, add the Mundus, add the race, add all these different variables. And these fuckheads are still going to put every fucking race and every class in the same sets and be like, this is the best race with the best class. And why? Because we don't know how to fucking figure out in different values. Because we dipshits. And when it happens, Mystic will say, I told everybody so. Oh, shit. I love poured salt. I have no problem doing it. Yeah, event. Cool. Heroes Reforged. We're outnumbered? Of course we are. Probably gonna croak. Oh my. And I only have 3 really good pots, so I'm using junk. I'm not even anticipating anything. It's like, fuck it. Figured I earned some CP and some shit, right? They split up. Why? Got a blade. I have a sork. Let's see what happens.
Take the field.
No, don't do it, dude. I'm with the blade. Oh, we got our 4th. Slickums. I don't even know what got me. Oblivion's foe. I don't res me. Fuck that. Just go. I'll catch up. Let him get the flank.
Outstanding! But it's not over yet!
Poor motherfuckers. What the hell? Where's my other teammates? Oh shit. Oh fuck. They're getting camped. You will suffer for that.
We cannot be stopped!
Come on. Oh man, you guys. Oh shit. No bar swap, come on. This Tempest is really good. What is this orc? Blade. It's pretty much game. And Blade was just like annihilating shit. Iris, what up? That dude just ran. I know. How you doing, dude? Dude, man, did you get to see my stamps work, man? It's pretty beast. I'll tell you what. I can't wait, Irish. I can't. You know it's coming. You know, it's like they've been waiting, and I have to, like, you know, deal with this bullshit, right? Like, you know, that's the thing I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with how things are. I have a problem with the lack of respect for the players who figure it out first, and then everybody acts like they figured it out, and then they just go and, you know, whatever. I have a major problem with that. It's like, you know, there's reasons you guys follow me and you guys hate me. There's reasons for it. My subs are actually climbing back up. My view times are starting to slowly get better again. Slowly. And it's just like, but a lot of people also hate me, and it's like, I don't care what you guys hate. You guys had this for years. I left you in a good spot. Well, I was pretty peeved. But I left you with knowledge that you guys just took and threw it down a shitter. Because you guys are still fucking dense. Like, I've said this multiple times. How do you offset diminishing returns in different values? This game's littered with it because every race has the different stats that you build around. And those, that includes Mundus, CP, and gear. And when you do that, you come up with indifferent values. It's littered throughout the game. It is literally littered in this game. That affects traits, everything, man. I'm like, these motherfuckers. I still remember when they were putting mags in Sharpen. You remember that dumb shit? I'm like, you don't do that. You're overpenetrated. No, what? Don't they say what? Remember what they were literally putting?
Get that ball or get off the field. We must get the ball. Let's go.
What? Hey, protect brawl carrier. Fucking idiots. Let's chase more kills. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? You see this bullshit?
Get that ball or get off the field.
Zoss.
Get the ball back.
Yeah, why? You know, Zenimax. It's moments like this I have to question your... Like, I fell through the stair. Hi. Welcome to Mystics MMOs, where we live stream Zenimax's brilliance. It's like diminishing return stuff all over again. You call it, bro. You were one of the first. Thank you, man. Yeah, I was. You know, well, and that's the funny thing. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, that's why, like, I always tell people, man, I used to test for companies. Like, half the reason companies would have me test was to find, like, anomalies. Not just to enjoy the game, because most of the time during alpha phase, there's not much of a game. It's like a skeleton of a phase. And you're, like, taking a look at, like, some of the code. And you're playing through it and seeing if it resolves correctly. And then you're looking for, like, different, you know, anomalies that occur. Or they're inconsistent, you know, with resolution from, you know, the numbers perspective. And then you report the bug accordingly. So it's just a lot of just observation and reporting. It's not very glamorous, actually. It's pretty boring. Yeah, look, I'm completely matched out. Zoss, why would you put a wagon in front of a staircase? What a bunch of... Let's obstruct an area that you could fall through due to a mechanic, but will obstruct it. So if you do fall through, you're SOL. I can't make this shit up. Jesus. Brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. Let me. If you didn't want a wooden one, you know you could actually just make this a solid and then not even have this. But if you're not going to make it solid, then do yourself a favor and remove the fucking obstruction. This is type dip shit. This is noob shit. Yeah, great. Excellent. Couldn't do a fucking thing the entire match. It's lovely. Yeah, looking good. Thanks, Colin. You know, that's the funny thing. Like, I remember my little hater. Like, there's no diminishing return. Bullshit. Like, that's what I did in real life. Like, my real life, I was, my title was equity specialist, but I pretty much did, worked in, housing, secondary mortgages and stuff like that. And I worked with, looking at market and evaluating equity and, investments and, property. And, of course, then that even from, personal property to commercial property, and then, looking at inflation rates and diminishing effects. All right. And then, projecting, those results. And it was kind of funny because I was licensed at 19. So at 19, I worked for a corporation. I was the youngest in my field. So I didn't finish college. I was recruited while I was in college. And then, most of my life was boring. It was pretty boring. It was good. It was a great paying job. Then I worked for the banks. And then I also delivered pizza on the weekends. And then later on, I worked for a telecommunications company that worked in financial products and services. Yay. Which I nailed the fuck out of because my background. And I'm having to work with people that think like they're the shit when I'm looking at them like I'm working with fucking dumbasses. But anyways, that's my life pretty much. I mean, it's just, it never ends. And then everybody questions you, hey, you know what? We're going to see a backslide in, the housing market, in a couple of weeks, oh, you're being paranoid. No, I'm doing my job. What you pay me to do. If you don't want to listen, that's fine. I'm just warning you ahead of time. You're not going to listen, though, are you? Of course we're not. But keep doing it. Okay. Okie day. Thank you. And then I got the same shit in a game. It's my life. Figure it out. I figured it out. We're not going to listen. Okay. But we're going to take the credit. Yeah, of course you will. Absolutely. Of course you're going to. Makes sense, right? You don't know how to do it, so you're going to take the credit for something you don't completely understand at all. Excellent. Awesome. What are you running on that stam sork you mentioned? Automatons and Leviathan. And then Slime Crawl. Slime Crawl is on 2 of my builds. It'll actually be on 3. For sure. So I wanted a static DPS. Because the mechanics have changed. Right? So a lot of buff drop-offs have been happening. And due to the way the new CP system works. And the way the scaling system works. The diminishing effect has been placed on, it used to be they've marginalized the diminishing return. They were able to reduce the diminishing value with the current system. Believe it or not. So it used to be more extreme. So that's why you ran a 5-1-1 config, because the 2% scaling system actually benefited you statistically more. But because of the way they scaled the base stats, right, and to get rid of the 5 restricted value or cap, that actually increased the capability of reducing the diminishing return and allowing you now to run 6 divine 1 infused and get a much better result depending on the configuration, you know. So they actually reduced the diminishing value. It's still apparent, but it actually raised the base scale, and to control that, they had to reduce the critical value. So that's what they did in a nutshell. They knew they were raising base value. So how do you offset the nerf? How do you nerf DPS if you're raising base value? Well, you have to decrease the critical rate without affecting the critical modifier. So the critical modifier is how much damage crit does, right? Because that usually is a static value. So reducing the amount, the effectiveness, or how frequent your crit is based on precise or mundus or gear will allow you to marginalize the, you know, or put a diminishing rate on the critical, you know, chance without changing it. You know, they just adjusted it. So, but you still see it in the gear. So to get the critical value out of the gear, you don't want to go 7 because of the diminishing return, because then you lose on base, because then you'd sacrifice, right? So they thought they'd be slick and try to get everybody to raise their critical value with the 7 piece into the medium or the light. But by doing that, you would actually reduce the base damage, thus still affecting critical rate or critical damage output. So there, once again, the diminishing value is there. You just, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're fucked. So, or they think they're slick. Don't fuck with somebody with a background in economics. And it's a gaming nerd too. So, yeah, no. So most of your DPS, majority of them will be a 6-1 config. Unless they're trying to, for some reason, build a base build with low in crit rate. Right? You could do that. You could. The damage, and that would be way more apparent on derated effects. Burst damage, not so much. Burst damage, it would take a huge hit. Massive cut. Derated effects, it would actually be worth the investment. You know, especially like in like the burning status effect. Shit like that. Like DKs would benefit from that. Or, you know, stamina and mag. Not so much blades. Blades have disease, not poison. Templars, Magplars would definitely, you could see a boon to that as well if they were to try to implement that. You know, where they could actually not have to need as much of a high-end critical rating.
To oblivion with them.
Yeah, no, dude, we melted ICP. I still didn't get my drop. Oh my god, these dudes. You're outnumbered, motherfuckers. Oh, look at that, a healer. And a tank. A healer and a tank and a 4-man. Can anybody say fucking pre-made? That dude thought he was gonna like take me out. Go ahead, motherfucker. Look at this fucking spamming motherfucker. This little cocksucker. God, man, I ain't even got the ball, you bitches. Did you poison me? Fucking little fucking cocksuckers. We don't even have the ball. These little cock bastards. They're gonna fucking win due to fucking a dumbass stream stalking motherfuckers. Get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off me. They're like, I can kill the Waven. What the fuck? I'm getting fucking hunted down by a bunch of dumb shit. Everybody is on my ass. Nobody's getting the ball carrier. Losers. Nice. Come in, man. I got you. Look at this dude with leeching. I've got the leeching plate. You can't do shit. Oh, really? I've got, look at this! Did you see that other fucking... Look at these fuckers. Red's a bunch. Because he's an idiot. I don't even give a fuck. I feel like I'm getting trolled even in PvP. They didn't get to ask the other day, but how are you finding the new CP system and the racial changes? It's actually better. So what Zoss actually was able to do was devise a better long-term progression system. It'll need fine-tuning from time to time, but what it allows them to do is to literally control it a lot better. here. Right when I'm getting like, everybody's got healers. Hopefully it's that blade. It is. I gotta get rid of this motherfucker. Pre-made motherfuckers. I'll take out that healer. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, no, it's definitely a better system. It's a lot better, you know, long-term wise. You know, it'll offer a lot of progression, like a long-term progression system, optional build capabilities by loadout. So that'll allow players to literally red is moron, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is just a shit show, honestly. But it's a lot better controlled. The devs did amazing, actually. I was very impressed. Very impressed, actually. I mean, yes, there's a difference between like a ceiling cap for progression, but I don't think anything where it affects current content. Meaning, you could have 400 CP, get your base bar unlocked, and still be effective in content. Will you clear it as fast as a higher cap player? No, but it won't affect progression into content. So it allows them to, ineffectively, basically intentionally, but it's not effective because you can't prevent diminishing returns completely. You can offset it, and that's basically what they did. The more indifferent values they apply into the game, the more it offsets the diminishing rate. And that's what they're doing. They could do it better. I've always said that. The more indifferent values they make it apparent, the better they control the diminishing return, right? Because that's, once again, kind of what I used to go over when I wrote a business prospectus or go over portfolios, highlighting things. But in a nutshell, they did they did a really good job, implementing more of a control mechanism, into the game. That it just gives more option, a lot better control, and still a form of progression. Something to strive for. Without it, I think a lot of players are making it overwhelming, right? Because of PvP, and I understand that, but because of passive, right? Passive statting, but like bar statting or active statting, I like to call it. The active statting, it has to be still placed, so limitations have been presented. And I think that's what the devs did insanely well. This was an excellent job with the progression system, within the CP system, and they can expand upon this with subcategories down the road even further. So I'm very impressed. I'm actually insanely impressed with the new CP system. I know a lot of people feel it a little overwhelming or a little tedious or even more meticulous, but it is a better control mechanism. It really is. So kudos, man. Kudos. There's a lot that has to go into this, like in calculating and stuff. And my hat just goes off to him. Hopefully that one dude's getting it. The more they fight, the more faster we can res and anticipate them to come. What the fuck? Nobody guarded? Oh, we only have one. Yep. You really want to hide for the blades, man.
We must get the relic back!
Nice. No, Bart! Swap! God, does anybody ever fucking have that problem after a dodge roll? You dodge roll and you're trying to swap and it won't. God, fuck!
Drop that relic! Let's get that relic! They've got the relic! Have we given up completely?
If you can't cap, get off the fucking pot.
Secure the relic!
Green. Green. Blade. Yep. I knew it. How the fuck does a fucking... What the fuck? Fucking dipshit.
Vivek mocks us. They've captured the relic.
You gotta push the stronger team because they're pushing the person, whatever. They're gonna keep 2 guards, they're gonna send 2 or 3. If you can't shit, get off the pot. Wow. 1077, and he still can't fucking do his shit right. Blades, man. I keep trying to tell you, man. A blade will fuck your game up harder than dog shit. They're selfish. It's their personality, majority of the time.
Oh, steal that relic back.
Say they ran 3 over. Now they're going to kill the person who has theirs. Right? And they're still going to score. We have...
Lost the relic.
Told you, man. I told you. That person's going to score. They're going to cap their thing. Oh, somebody dropped it. Nope, they scored. I told you. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist. Oh my fucking god, dude. Just heavy attack this fucker.
Complete switch then. We have the relic.
What a cheap ass. I knew it. I should have recognized cheap.
We've captured the relic.
God. I should have realized cheap. I should have realized it's a cheap ass DK. You know why? Fucking using fucking fossil eyes. I'll pay respect to a DK that doesn't utilize it and beats. You know, I always do. If when I see a DK use fossilize, I'm like, yeah, you have to, because you're a bitch. You don't. You have to play a cheap mechanic. You have to. You have to.
Snatch the relic quickly. Oh, steal that relic back.
I keep saying, don't fuck with the purple. Stop fucking. Why do you think they're pushing? They're pushing 2 on the side, and you need to push the 2 over. You're too late. Now you got every. God.
The specter of defeat looms.
And these guys aren't swapping, so I can't go and grab, man. This is why you get. I tell you guys, blades are the dippest motherfuckers in the game. They're selfish. 3. Our blade sucks. I caught him out on stream. Every fucking step of the way. I'm like, look at this dipshit go. Look at this dipshit go. Look at this dipshit go. Fucking shit. If you can't shit, get off the pot. You go 2 and 2. God. So tired of the fucking dip ass fucking blades. How do you feel about taking things you don't want to get to the stuff you do want? Also here, the green tree is absolutely mess. The green tree, let me kind of go over this to an extent, right? The green tree is just a crafting options, which actually could be a little better. Could be. Like, they could actually split this and divert some things. But, for example, like, there are certain things I like, certain things I don't. The fishing, like, you know, bridge is great, right? It's great. You know, I actually do like, you know, the potion stuff. I like, you know, certain things, right? That are coordinated, but I feel like it could be better. You know what I'm saying? It could. There's little things that could make it a little bit better. Like the rogue effects, you know, are really cool. You know, if you want to go with roguish type stuff, that it's here, but you know, it has its limitations currently. I went with more crafting elements, you know, on certain tunes, but and like fishing on another. So I do like the. What do you mean? Sorry. It's tactics, man. Lack of fucking tactics. Over and over and over again. You can't make this shit up. See, he's like, okay. Yeah, he owns up. Yeah, because you can't deny it. I got you on stream. Most blades are fucking a reason a fucking loss occurs. They're fucking dipshits. It's just dips. If you're going to play strategically. God, man. God, it kills me. I'm not psychic. I studied some psychology. And you know, this is relative. A Nord blade. Orc blade. Orc blades are becoming very popular. Speed. This could be a problem as well. I picked an orc blade. Never did a race change ever. Just did. Made my blade an orc.
It's fighting time.
He's going to go. Of course. The other person's going to go the opposite side. Everybody's going to leave me here by myself. Oh my god, this person, I love her. I love her. Oh my god. Gore. Two. Guard. Oh my fucking god. Two. Two fucking guard. I can't make it up. You're a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Green is not even... They're not even guarding. Everybody's fighting on purple. Yes. Take that, bitch.
We've got the relic.
Well, I'm glad you got me, but we scored. Do nothing on defense. I die in a few attacks. It's not even matters. All you do is stealth. Oh yeah. Just gonna grab. He's right down there. Can somebody just go cap something, please, and thank you? What the fuck? See, I told you, man. Blades will always get somebody a loss. Why am I pulling out of stealth? What the fuck? What? Oh, I'm out of stam is why. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh boy. Purple's guarding really good. Green's trying to whatever.
We've got the relic!
Good. Get it over here.
We've taken the relic! Is that crying I hear?
All we gotta do is defend. I'm not gonna chase. I'm always on defense, man. Nobody plays D.
We have the relic!
Orc, man. Orc blades. Look at it go. Look at him.
Triumph is ours!
Dude's in the fire. No, why'd you do that? When dude Codwell's on.
Defend that relic! Cut them down!
Go, 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 go. That's the dub. That's the dub, baby. Just cap it. Like we give a shit. Nah. Fuck that. Just cap. It looks like a shit show. You can't farm. You can't farm AP. AP. You don't get AP from killing. You get AP at the end. It's not like, you know, districts.
By spilled blood and broken bones, the relic is off!
A little teamwork goes a long way. But yeah, no, I honestly think that some of what ZOS has implemented is really good. It's really good shit. It is. It really is. ZeniMax did a great job. I just want to get a little bit. I'm going to actually switch tunes here. Because I've got to do my random on my Stamplar. Trying to level him up as well. But ZOS should be proud, actually. I know some players feel a certain type of way. But from a perspective, certain things can be improved upon. But from a functional element, it's insanely well implemented. Not to say it's perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there can be improvements, but from a controlled, progressive, situation, very well executed, insanely well executed. I'm a critic. I'm a very harsh critic. I'm very harsh. I'm very blunt. I come unfiltered. Most of you guys know that. And I know a lot of people don't like the adjustments that were made, but the intention, some of the things I feel like could have been devised a little better, but they took everything into consideration for the most part from a new player's perspective to the introduction of CP progression. With that said, that really lays out a player's, capabilities. Of just saying, oh, I feel it. Yeah, see, I want that transmutation. I'm going as tank. I definitely want some more transmute. That's 10. So, I definitely feel like Zoss has done a really good job. Implementing things. Let me say I gotta wait until it lapses before I can utilize. But yeah, no. Zoss did a really good job. And I would say it sucks. If I thought it sucked, I would say it sucks. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd be like, oh man, this just blows balls. This just sucks so much, But can't say that. All right. What's up?
Three of Mike.
Did you see my my ICP run today though? I was with the Templar tank. I got Templar tanks. I keep saying this. I'm not gonna have one right away. I would want one. I'm gonna have a Magplar, a healer. I'll have a healer. I'll have a Magplar and a healer. I'll have a Stamplar. I might want to make a Templar healer. I mean, a Templar tank. So, why? Because they're fucking just ridiculous. They're the most underrated goddamn tank in ESO. I'm like, do you guys even understand? These guys have not one, two forms of mitigation, like three actually, if you add armor. But most tanks have a traditional two form mitigation. Most. Either heal or shield. I mean, all tanks have shield, right? But Templars have shield, heal, right? And the way their shield system works is slightly different. And then mitigation, standard mitigation, armor mitigation. So They're insanely very durable and resource insane. Like I never had to worry about resources on a Templar tank. Never. I had a Templar tank on my PS4. God, I loved him. I liked the PvPing with him, you know, a lot. I don't. I feel like that was probably one of the most annoying things to face. Like, dude, I tanked 50 people in front of a keep. They nerfed me. But I literally tanked 50 people in front of a keep. It was stupid. Templar tanks are so, like, everybody sucks on the DK's butt nuts, and DKs are great tanks. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just like, you know, I played every class as a tank, every class as a healer, and I keep going back to it. Like, Templar tanks are ridiculous. They're like God mode. And the Templar tank I was with proved it. He's throwing down grounds cleanses. Just, you know, we have like little heals on us. He's AoEing and getting resources as mobs are dying. I'm like, this is just disgusting. Oh shit, I gotta do the other one. Forgot other boss. Yeah, I forgot. I got the mission, so I gotta do it.
Door. See to him.
By the Empyrean light.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, OP. Fucking OP. Ridiculous. I'm like, what the... I'm glad he was with me. I'll be honest. I'm glad I got to do the dungeon with him. That's why when somebody talks about like ESO and classes, and I'm like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all. Like Sork healers, God, you don't even have to try with a fucking Sork healer. It's just ridiculous. Sure, they don't have a cleanse Whippy fucking doodah. These things will always overheal. My DK, that's a challenge heal, man, most of the time.
She lives. We'll need her before the day is done.
She's going to be fine.
The DK heal is like, you know, the hardest healer. That's why a lot of people are like, DK healing sucks. No, you suck.
How do we contain
You are a sucky player. It's not the DK's fault. That's supposed to be the elite heal, you know, challenge.
What do you think, Sirion? Fight fire with fire?
I wish they would implement more universal, like, application, like cleanse by fire. They could have a cleanse by fire. Like, you cleanse a player of their wound, but deal X amount of damage to them if they're dotted. So it's a trade-off. It's like, okay, so if you try to cleanse them, if you try at a low health, they die. But if you get it in time, you end up like, you know, it becomes rewarding to pay attention to the status effect, right? People calling it out, you know? You could do those type of things. I would know. I played that in Rift. Like, there was a, this weird healer build, and you literally could kill a player with it. You could. Like Nightblades, cleansed by them sacrificing an extra portion of their life. You know, blood cleanse. You know what I'm saying? You can do these type of things, man. Give everybody, you know, an effect, but it's different. Templars, no biggie. You know, keep it the same. They have a more effective cleanse. It's more, you know, it's more commonplace.
I'm going to enjoy this. It's the outsiders. So the keepers are afraid to face you. Very well. You'll die in their stead.
Things suck about training here, man.
You think you've beaten me? How amusing. Haven't you noticed that the pact I made protects me?
Ignore his words, keepers. Begin the separation.
Begin the separation.
This will work, Sirion. What are you not doing? Oh, I do so love to see magic.
Is that what this is? Best race in your opinion now? I hear Dark Elf is the move now. Dark Elf is good. But I don't see things in the same perspective as most players because I see the in different values. So Zos, what they do is really ingenious, and that's why most content creators I don't see them being like, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be whatever, I'm just saying like they're not on most people who calculate level. Zos implements a stat, right? And what most of the time you find end up happening is an indifferent value So let me explain this. Let me demonstrate it. I'll leave. So that person was really cool for her. So I'm on a Bosner Wood Elf, for example, right now. And they've changed a few things, right? They just took out the dodge roll fact, right? Because it's kind of annoying to have to dodge roll throughout your rotation. Let's be honest. I mean, you know, it was a good move, honestly. But when we go into their passives, okay. So here's the deal. I'm getting a physical and spell penetration of 950. Now, it's kind of interesting because that, when you add it to like the CP system or the sharpen trait, for example, if you add this base stat to the sharpen trait with the minimum into the CP, you have enough penetration versus every other race. So guess what you don't need? A penetrating set. Because now, can any other race pull the sharpen off by itself? No. They need full into the CP. Or a penetrating set. Or the Mundus. This race doesn't need the Mundus. He doesn't need it. I could go with the Mundus, but then I would need less Divine. And then I could max his stats up, his base stats on Stam. Those are called indifferent values. You see where I'm going? So instead of like 6 Divine, which is going to be a lot more commonplace, this race, if he was to use the Lover Mundus, could go with 5 Divine, 2 Infused. And make up the difference. Why? Because that 950 is almost equivalent to a gold infused piece. So I become indifferent based on the base stat. And that is why I don't respect majority of content creators. Because they can't figure the fuck out of it. It's an indifferent value. ZOS is ingenious. They could close the margins a little bit, but most of the time you overexceed anyway. So, like I said, it's an indifference because sure, most of the times I'm over penetrated slightly or adjusted because of not everything is an ideal situation, but it literally takes this dude and says, guess what? Run sharpen, run a crit set now. Run 2 crit sets if you like now. If you want to run 2 crit sets now, you can. Because you can run a sharpen trait, and you can even run the thief or the shadow. You see where I'm going? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, indifferent values exist in this game based off of the race. To me, there is no better race. There's just looking at the stats and saying, okay, how do I have to readjust my class now based on the new values? That's it. Because now I have a recovery. Once this hits, I'll have a base recovery. And I'm going to have a max value. You see where I'm going? But I lack crit. So I have to put the values into that race. Did they reduce Khajiit crit? Yeah, it's crit. Basically, it's no longer a critical chance. It's a critical damage modifier now. Saiyan or Dragon, I think it was Saiyan. Saiyan pointed that out to me. Saiyan Gaming, check him out. Saiyan pointed that out because I have a Khajiit. I just haven't leveled him up. My Sork on PS, my Stam Sork on PS is Khajiit, so it's going to be kind of different. But like I said, you have to readjust the builds based on the changes. That's what it is. So there's these things called indifferent values, and I had to know about them in school. So I studied economics. I took 4 years of accounting, and I studied all business courses when I was young. And then I went to college, and then I got passed my states, and I studied economics and accounting. Now, one of the primary functions of the math that I had to learn had to deal with projections, and projections also were affected by inflations and diminishing values, a lot of them. So a lot of times when you're dealing with projected values, you have to take into consideration the offset by indifferent values to, it's basically like saying 20 years from now, not I'm just making a jest or just a general observation. The rate of inflation times X amount of years, the value of a bond will not be greater than the purchase price of today's market value. So for the value to exceed a purchaser's investment, it would have to be rate of inflation or exceeded by years of. So that's the type of, because then if it was to be even, if it evened out by the rate of inflation, you would be indifferent in your purchase, because basically you're not gaining anything by the rate of inflation. Does that make sense? So it becomes an indifferent value. It's like just storing money in a safe place. You know, there's no rate of return. So there's not a diminishing value. It's just an indifferent value because of rate of inflation. The same principle, slightly different. And so that's pretty much how I have to explain things. Like, people were like, well, how do you know this? I studied the shit. Like, I lived and died by this math. You have to understand, I live and died by it. Like, to me, this math was holier than holy. It's more, like, business is more, like, economics is more precious to me than anything. It's like almost religious, right? It's just, these numbers matter to me in every essence. And when I see content creators who don't understand numbers, it's like, God, you guys are fucking morons. And they're like, well, how do you know? I studied the fucking math. How do you think I'm able to come out with these builds? You guys are still slotting everybody in the same shit because you don't understand indifferent values. You don't understand it, how it affects the diminishing rate. That's what peeves me. So, you know, that's, you know, I think that's why I got into gaming, because after the math, you know, was present, you know. So I can manipulate the numbers that ZOS implements, knowing the indifference or the marginal, where I have to make up the marginal differences, while everybody is saying this race is the best, or this set is the best, or this is BIS and that is BIS. And it's like, you guys are all fucking morons. You can't count. How do you think you're following me? And why do you think you end up doing everything I say? Because I can fucking count, you dipshits. Not you, Irish. I'm talking about the meta players. The ones who get really pissed off at me. Oh my God, Mystic. You're such a dick. He sucks. His builds suck. It's like, no, dudes. I'm just making up the difference. That's all I'm doing. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Yeah, they. Yeah, it's they. It is. It is they. They are complete. They're, you know. And don't worry. They'll figure something out and they'll say it. This is the best race. This is the best set. This is the best. This is the best. And then the entire time, I'm looking at them like fucking morons. Years later, and some of these are supposedly college-educated individuals, I would recommend them getting a refund for their, you know, purchase, because their investment was piss poor. Still don't understand it. So it's just like, wow. Holy fuck. Wow. This set is so good. You know, it pairs up. Well, yeah, because you already have these base stats. You'll throw it on everything until it makes sense, and then say, it's best. It's best. This class is doing excellent this update. This class is doing excellent. This race is doing excellent. No, it's just you can't figure it out. And then what ends up happening? ZOS adjusts it because people just can't figure it out. And then what ends up happening? They nerf the other classes to an extent and then offset the difference. They're not making it where any class, any race can't do the content in its entirety. That's not there. They make some mistakes with abilities that are like overtuned, sets that are overtuned. They need to, in my humble opinion, close the gap into the indifferent values a little bit, because then you can control the diminishing rates even better. That's what they did with the CP system, and I praise them for it. I'm praising them for that. The indifferent values that in controlled mechanism into the new CP system, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And it's going to get better. That's even more crazy. It's like, holy crap. It's actually, they actually friggin' put a way to control the diminishing rate at their discretion versus having to adjust according to the diminishing value. Now they can control it with more indifferent value at their leisure. Which in a way they always could, but sometimes it's an oversight. You don't notice it until it's apparent. So it's crazy to me. It's crazy. So that's why I don't ever care. The only thing I'm never going to do is take a Magtoon and try to make him a stand player. It's the only thing I'm never going to try to do based on scaling. But for the most part, excellent. Well executed. I got to give him a 9.5 out of 10. I do. The new content, I like the mechanics. I like the new elements they've implemented. I don't think I'm a fan of the sets, based on requirements. So there's one set actually I do like. There is one set I like, the medium set. I think that's a good set based on rotation. So I think that's a positive set. As long as your rotation's tight, that's a very good set. But the critical value sets, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not. So it's my observation. So, but overall, very well planned out. Hopefully, since Microsoft took the helm, once they implement the new server, system, it'll be great. This game will have another 5-year lifespan. So ESO isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So even though there's things that I do criticize them for, their PvE is strong. Probably one of the strongest when it comes to, the Elder Scrolls universe. In my opinion, the best story arc is Final Fantasy. So, they shouldn't try to compete on that level, because they already implement a lore system to the Elder Scrolls universe. So anything they have to do is keep, applying that, and they'll succeed regardless. Because they implement the content in its context extremely well. So, very, very good. So, that's if you're a lore junkie. So, excellent. But anyways, man, yeah, I'm going to take a break, and then I'll get on and mess around probably with the healer, get some dailies in. I might stream it. Anyways, thanks, Irish, for asking the questions, man. I hope you guys, if you come back and you're playing on the PC, please let me know. I'm thinking about starting a guild. I don't know. But hit me up, man. Hit me up for sure. All right, guys. Peace.